zone.
Welcome back to the GSL Code A, where we have two Protosses battling it out in our winners match. It's SOS against Classic. Both of these players took a dominating 2-0 over their opponents.
Yeah, it was actually a really, really incredible performance that we saw from both of them, just playing their opponents to the wall there. And now we have them in the winners match. The loser match between Shine and Gumiho should be a good one, but I don't think that they're currently on the level of the two Protoss players, at least not with the performance that we saw in game number 1. They could, of course, always come back. I'm pretty excited to see what they are trying to do or what the winner is going to do in the consolation match. But for now, it looks like we are going to see a very good day for Protoss fans.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like both of these guys are going to Code S. It's just the question of which one's going first. Not to tip the other two players and really, you know, speak poorly of them, but they both got crushed. And maybe against a different Protoss opponent, if they play the opposite one that they played, maybe they could take the win. Or maybe they're able to step it up a level like we talked about before. But Habitation Station is our starting map for this Protoss versus Protoss, and we're going to find out who the better Protoss is in this group today in this best of 3, who's getting that first place spot.
I would not be surprised to see both of them advance to Code S today. And well, as you already said, now we're going to find out who's going to be the first player in Group A who will be able to advance to the next round to Code S. So it's either going to be SOS or Classic. Game number 1 is on Habitation Station, and we're going into the game right now here at the GSL Code A. Colin Wolf.
SOS versus Classic.
The winners match starts with a proxy. We have SOS starting to the top right on Habitation Station, moving out with one of his first probes immediately onto the map. He wants to be aggressive in game number 1. He wants to show Classic how it's done. Starting to the top left, we have said Protoss player Classic with a dominant 2-0 victory over Gumiho. He is now up in the PvP against his opponent and finds himself being proxied in his main base.
Could be one of many types of proxies. Let's make sure it's a gateway first. Probably so. There it is. What we've been seeing a lot in Pro League is the one gateway proxy into Cybernetics core and then just an attack. But since he hasn't made any more probes, I think we're definitely going to see double gate here. Old school style.
Yeah, looks very much like it. There's the second gate, and so far there's no scout on the map for Classic, and the later he scouts, the more difficult it's going to be for him to hold this off.
Oh, this is, especially if he skips the first Zealot, maybe even could be a disaster, because if it's not scouted, okay, it looks like he's going to scout it.
Yeah, looks very much like it, and here we go. Nice. Good move there by Classic, having a quick scout and finding out what's going on, so now he can react accordingly. We have already the double gate nearly completed here for SS. Keep in mind that he does not have anything taken like a Cybernetics core, so he will have to rely on Zealots only.
Yep. And I think the thing is, the second pylon there is really important because it means that he's not going to lose power. He starts his core. What he wants to do is rush out that Mothership core so he can buy time with his first Zealot and some of his probes against the first two. Even though he scouts this, it's not over yet. I mean, this is all about micro here. Yep. And SOS can still force a win here with basically perfect micro.
Mothership core and Stalkers are going to be the big winners for this game for Classic. But for now, it's just about saving those pylons, making sure that there is energy for those two structures. And we have a bit of a dance here between the Zealots and the probes, of course. Classic trying to annoy his opponent as much as possible. Maybe take down that probe immediately, but the first pylon is already very, very low. Here comes that core.
He can't make the Mothership core, actually, or a Stalker for that matter, until the next pylon is ready. And he's just targeting down that pylon. And he's actually fighting a 2v1 Zealot battle here. This is looking really bad for Classic. He's starting to lose way too much here, Keldor.
It's looking horrible. And now finally we have enough supply for him to start his Mothership core there. But it's going to look so difficult for him. He's losing so much. He's trying to fight with a few of the probes, but there are so many Zealots for his opponent. And there goes that pylon. Once again, he's about to be supplyable if he loses anything else or if he builds anything. There comes the Mothership core finally, but so many Harvesters already going down. 13 against 11. SOS still a little bit behind, but he has the Zealots in his opponent's main base now.
Yep. And he's trying to probe drill here a little bit, using the Mothership core to help out. He's losing so many probes. He's down to 6 now.
Oh, God.
2 more Zealots coming in there. They may actually just end this game. The Mothership core will be ignored.
And we
So
have
much
for
my time
SOS
lost.
now the cybernetics core being built, so he wants to transition. He's already taking down, or is about to take down the last zealot of his opponents, chasing the probes away. Mining time lost. If he's already down to 6 harvesters, and he's even losing the mining time. Once again, the zealots coming into the mineral line here, and SOS is just looking dominant in this game now. That proxy worked so well for him. Once again, taking down even more probes.
Yep. And 14 to 6. Core's finished. Then he's going to start warping in stalkers from these 2 gateways. First one already queued up. The second one is soon to be queued up. And that's all she wrote, man. There's no even powering of the cybernetics core, so you can't even research warp gate.
The only thing that saves this game at this point is the mothership core. That's the only thing that gives him a bit of time. And once those 2 stalkers are out, that's gone.
Yep.
I mean, here comes the photon overcharge. He's baiting it out. He's retreating with the zealots. The stalkers are going to wait until that's over, and then they're going to move in and take the game.
Yep. Just going to wait. Easily targeting down that zealot, it's not even worth it if he loses the mothership core, which he's about to when the soccer comes out. Goodbye, mothership core. I don't know what he thought was going to happen, but I mean, this game is already over.
Yeah, he was trying. I mean, he did what he could, but like the problem for him really being at the beginning a bit supply blocked, then he saw it very late. There were already zealots in his base. He tried to defend. Didn't work. GG, and SOS takes game number 1.
He set up a weird position. The pylon that he made, the second pylon, I think he thought it was a tight wall, but there was a gap. And then he got himself stuck in the pylon gap where his probe couldn't help, and then it was a 2v1 zealot fight. If you ever fight any one of those, even one time, doesn't matter if we're talking about Wings of Liberty or Heart of the Swarm, then it's 3 zealots against no zealots. For any moment of time, you're losing way too many probes, and that's game. So quick win here for SOS, and Classic cannot be happy with this, but at least if you lose a PvP like this in a game 1 of a series, you think to yourself, okay, whatever, that was what you showed me in game 1. I'm not going to lose to that again. I can't beat this guy in a straight-up game. And you just have to shake it off. Not let it get into your head.
The thing is really that you are already down 1 game. You're basically going into the series with an 0-1. That's kind of how this ends up right now. And for Classic, this must be quite annoying. He knows that he's up against a really good player, and then having to win 2 in a row is extremely difficult. So this was just like an early build order win bait. Not quite, but like nearly.
Basically, I mean, the micro mistakes from Classic really hurt him there, but it was kind of a build order win.
So he gets that quick victory in game number 1, and that's just a great start into the best of 3 series. SOS must feel really happy now, and he's one of the players who can now just switch it up. He can either play super greedy or completely just change his MO.
Yunsu is the map, 2-player map, and a really, really fair one for Pross versus Pross. Any builds could be used here. Let's find out if SOS could take the 2-0, take the 4-0 today and be the first player to advance to Code S, or if Classic is going to tie things up 1-1 here at the GSL Code S.